Hi, we are the Tabors from Villa Hills, Kentucky. I'm Courtney.
I'm Brandon.
Who are you?
I'm Lucas.
Who are you?
I'm Joe.
And we have Ella. She's our videographer right now, so you'll meet her in a minute. We want to take you on a tour of our home and show you the ugly things around here and what we want to do to change them. And the kids here are going to help us out and give you their ideas too.
I don't have a dad.
Oh, hey, Ella, show yourself.
I'm a baby.
Hey! We have one more person, Casey.
Casey.
Come here, Casey.
Come here, Casey.
This is our guard dog. She'll probably give you her input too. So we're going to move on to the kitchen and show you what we want to do in there. When you start talking.
Here's our kitchen. A lovely floor.
Alright, so this, the kitchen, like a lot of homes, is kind of the hub of our house. There are always a lot of people in here. It is not a big space. We're knocking into each other a lot. Primarily, we would really like to open it up so that it has a better flow. It is, we can circle around to our dining room and our living room, but it's very narrow. We would like to have that opened up so that we've got a better flow and we can see everybody out there and communicate a little bit better. Specifically, the really ugly things that are in this house. I'm going to start with the paint. Almost 12 years ago when we moved into this house, I painted this. I found this design in a book. I thought it was really cool. It obviously is not. And it's going to be a pain to get over this because it needs to be sanded down. There are a lot of little things. Come here, Joseph. We've got a lot of little things going on in this room that are kind of dysfunctional. If you look at the flow of this side, the counter space, which first of all, show them this over here, Brandon. As we mentioned in our application, we did these counters ourselves. The dimensions are slightly off and they don't go to the end. It's like that all around the room. So we have put these little corner pieces in so things don't fall down and we don't lose things. It doesn't look very nice at all. It doesn't stay on there. Everything's broken up. This space right here that's a little over a foot wide is where I prepare all of our meals. This is where I cut, prepare, mix, everything. It is not a lot of space. I usually wind up using half of our stovetop as a counter space because that's the only thing I can do. This tall piece right here, excuse me, sir, this is our pantry. All of our food is in here. It is very narrow. Things are crammed in there. It is a pain to get things out, but this is the only space that we have. We bought this piece to put in here because we needed extra counter space. It has wheels, so it gets pushed around a lot by little people, and it makes me a nervous wreck because somebody is going to push it over. We added this piece for added counter space and extra cabinets. This was not here when we moved in. But due to the height of this window and the depth here, this doesn't fit exactly. So we've got a windowsill and then a counter that's slightly above it and doesn't fit. And again, this piece that fills in the gap so we don't lose things. We've got this really ugly phone going here. This whole refrigerator area is a mess because the refrigerator does not fit neatly back in the corner as it should, so we lose things on the side, we lose things behind there. If you look back there, it's awful. The piece up on the top there has peeling paint around it. We can't even get to it. It's not a functional space at all.
Don't forget about our nice water stain.
We've got a water stain on the ceiling. The ceiling fan has some sort of short in it, so about once a month the light bulbs zap out on us. We go through a lot of light bulbs. The floor is peel and stick tile. If you look closely at it, you'll see some colors are different than others. Believe it or not, this is all of the same. It's the same flooring. It's just some are faded, some are newer, some I guess were replaced before we moved in. Brandon, what am I missing in this room? Because I know you have some things, and tell them what would make what would make our lives better if we could improve this space.
Well, we have this wonderful soffit that really serves almost no purpose at all except to make the ceiling shorter and reduce cabinet space that we have available. Again, we talked about behind the refrigerator. You can see how there's this huge gap here. It's wonderful for collecting dust
And magnets.
and magnets, because you can see our refrigerator is full of magnets. Again, we have this little awkward space here beside the refrigerator where really nothing fits, but it's just there, and it seems like it's a big waste of a space. That's
Ella, what would you like to? Ella, what do you think could make this room better? If we made some changes, how would it make our family and our house better?
I like to cook, and when me and my dad cook, there's not much space to use all of it. And as you can see, we're making chili, but there was probably not enough space, like when you make it. So I want more space right there, like in that little section.
All right. And what did you tell me earlier about parties?
A lot of the times when we have parties, people like to hang out in the kitchen, and then when people want drinks and food, people can just not get thrown. We would like more space in the kitchen altogether.
I really think just overall, it would make things a lot easier. I don't know if you saw our guard dog here laying in the middle of the floor. That's a usual spot for her. She's not dumb. She knows the food's in here. But it makes it very difficult to maneuver through this kitchen with the refrigerator here, you know, some counter things here and here. I mean, we're kind of zigzagging around a lot and stepping over the dog.
This is not bad.
So a better flow would really help things out. It would make evenings a lot easier, just meal planning, meal preparing a lot easier, and really just simplify our lives. We're a very busy, hectic family, but we do enjoy our family dinners, and anything to make things easier on us is huge.
not to mention having the 2 doorways makes it very inviting for little people to run through here and play hide and seek, and it creates an additional hazard almost while we're trying to cook.
Yeah.
I have something else to add.
Okay, go for it.
I also think we need more space over here. As you can see, the microwave cannot go all the way back, and we need it like all the way back so we can fit more stuff up here.
Ideally, we'd almost like to even see this wall gone.
Definitely, to open things up.
And then we have that up there where it's a little rough.
So we've tried to do, this is not the original kitchen when we moved in. We have actually renovated it completely since we bought the house, but we, as we mentioned in our application, we do a lot ourselves. We enjoy doing a lot, but our abilities and our knowledge is fairly limited. We're not contractors. So we do what we can and we do the best we can, but we've maxed out, so we need help.
Yeah.
We are gonna move into our master bathroom, so come on, follow up. All right, so we're going into our master bathroom right now. It is smaller than a lot of people's closets, so it's going to be hard to show you all of this. Bear with me as we walk in. So let me back up a little. There's our floor, a smaller than standard size doorway. At first glance, it really doesn't look all that ugly. It just doesn't
Which
look.
I like to say because I'm the one who put the floor in and the sink, so...
It's not all that ugly at first glance, but it open that curtain there. There we go. But I think once we show you some of the details of all of this, you'll see. So I'm going to do a quick 360 so you can get the picture. This is all the bigger that it is.
Do it up.
And don't forget the lovely ceiling.
Oh, we'll get there. So sorry if this is making you dizzy. But this is what we deal with. So go ahead and Brayden and just point out what we've got going on in here.
Alright, well, like I said, a few years ago, we tried to do a little bit of renovation, just make it look a little nicer because we had a very beat up, old flooring. So I did put some peel and stick tile down. I replaced the sink, but it was kind of quick effort and it still doesn't really function very well. For one, because my wife has to take a shower in here, and then all her stuff is in our other bathroom because there is just not enough. The way this is set up, there's not enough space in here for her to keep her things. The shower we have tried to patch. This is a major job. Not sure it's something that we could accomplish. This tile is the original tile. The tub is the original tub.
Let me get in here close so you can get a a close-up look at what we've got going on in the tub here. You can see some patchwork was done down there at some point before we were here, I think. The color in itself is straight out of the 70s. Let me do this side. And here are our fixtures. The shower head's not bad. We did get that.
And we first moved in, part of the problem here is that there was not a fan in this bathroom. There was a light up there. I took it out, but because the way the light was fitted, I had to cut a bigger hole than what you can buy a cover for a fan for. So I had to use an actual air duct vent cover to cover the fan, and it can constantly rust. So every once in a while we have to go buy a new one. You can see now that it's rusted. And then because there was no fan in here, is now over time the paint is peeling off the ceiling, and it needs to be repainted, but I'm not sure even then if it's going to stick because the ceiling has gotten all wet. We have replaced the windows. We have this lovely, it's probably 12 years old now, medicine cabinet that you can see is starting to wear. It's got fingerprint marks on it.
It really doesn't hold everything that we need.
The toilet, the water shutoff valve does not work. I have a cover on it, but it actually doesn't work. If we had to turn this off, it wouldn't work.
You'll see our vanity does not match up with the mirror, so we can't. It's just an awkward setup there. And the mirror itself is just it's a big mirror that's being chipped away at.
We did replace the light fixture.
Maybe a little more replacing, clearly.
But yeah, it still needs to be some bulbs replaced. It just went out.
Got a crack going on up there, if you can see that in the video.
And that's what's caused part of our problem. Is a few years ago our house settled on this side, and the wall, the foundation sank, and we had to pay for somebody to come in and lift our foundation. And so it's not a cheap thing. A lot of money that we were trying to put aside to fix things up, like this bathroom, our kitchen, our downstairs, we actually had to use to get our foundation lifted. So that's our bathroom. Like you can see, we need some help in here, and now we're gonna move to our bigger mess, is the downstairs.
All right, so this is our lower level family room. We have a standard bi-level floor plan. So this is where we spend most of our time as a family. It's a very, very multi-purpose room. It's a long rectangular room. So we've tried to divide it up and have living space versus toy space, but there are so many issues down here, and honestly we have not touched this room much since we've moved in because it's so overwhelming. We just don't know where to start. But I want to point out some of the things that we really don't like about this room. Hopefully you can see in the video, while the walls are all the same color, they're all just standard white. There are 3 different finishes. From like here on up, we have painted paneling. Then it moves to this sticky, I don't know what you call that, but it's what you typically see on the ceiling. And then the back wall is regular old drywall, and that's the only normal part. We have a fireplace. It's a wood-burning fireplace, which we love, and we love to light fires, but the brick is horrible on here. There are a lot of places where the grout or the mortar is coming out and it needs to be replaced. This giant piece of wood that serves as a mantle is not only ugly, but you can't dust it because it's a rough finish, so it collects dust and just doesn't look nice. There is paint around the top from the prior owner. She obviously didn't do a good job painting, but we just haven't touched it yet. We have this really not great floor lamp here because there is the only overhead light in this space is in the back half of the room, but we have our support beam and our air duct running through the middle, so it blocks that light. We had to put this up here. You'll notice there's a lot of stuff around here. I work from home. I'm in direct sales, so I have a lot of supplies. This is some of them. We don't really have a great space for storage to keep all of these things, so they, as much as I try to put them away, they keep coming back out. That's what some of this is. They're almost 99% of the time there is something in this space just stacked up. We got a little office back here with our printer. That's the only place we have to put it, so it's just shoved back there. Whenever the kids sit in this recliner, it spins around and knocks into the desk, knocks things around. Behind the recliner, Brandon, if you want to show him that, looks like a big pile of junk. I'm also a Sunday school teacher. Those are my supplies. Again, I've got nowhere else to keep it, so that's where it goes. Back here is Toyland. Our kids are very blessed. They're very fortunate. They have a lot of stuff. It's everywhere. We have tried numerous times to rearrange this space to make it more functional for them, make it easy for them to get their things in and out, and help them put them away. But it's just not working. We can't make it work. It's just not easy for them. I guess we just need, I'm not sure what we need, better storage options, something back here to make it easier for them to get to their things, for us to encourage them to actually put it away because they have a space to put it away. And a lot of times they run out of room back here, and toys start to filter to the front because they have no space to play, because it's just so unorganized that it is a mess. Ella,